Hello there, my name is Becca De Milan and you're watching the Get Life Energy YouTube channel. Thanks for stopping by. And today I wanted to talk to you about acupuncture. What about acupuncture? A lot of people want to know if acupuncture can help them with pain and other issues that they might be having. One of the awesome things about acupuncture is that it's covered by a lot of different types of insurance. So unlike massage therapy, which I'm still trying to figure out how to be able to accept insurance for that, a lot of insurance companies pay for acupuncture. Don't ask me why, but maybe it's because acupuncturists often wear a white lab coat, so maybe massage therapists need to start wearing a white lab coat. Just kidding. Acupuncture is traditional Chinese medicine. If you were living in China and you were ill, you would go see an acupuncturist, and that's the same thing as seeing a doctor within their model that they've been doing for thousands of years. So the Western medicine model is, the medical model where you have pain, you have an illness, you have something bothering you, you go to the doctor, you say, "Doctor, what's wrong with me?" And then the doctor tries to diagnose you based on your symptoms. If you're a little more holistic minded, which you probably are if you're watching this channel, you realize and you probably know and are aware of the fact that, medical doctors are trained based on a certain standard that's been developed for quite some time and is very respectable and has saved countless lives, and they can sew up your leg and sew your foot back on after it's been ripped off, and they can do a lot of amazing things with the advent of technology and medical science. But when it comes to the myriad of commonplace issues like I don't feel good, my tummy hurts, I have headaches, my dick's not working, I can't poop, whatever the fucking problem is that people commonly have, like depression, anxiety, insomnia, constipation, indigestion, IBS, skin problems, acne, just whatever. The medical world is more like, hey, let's diagnose the symptom. Oh, you have acne? Here's Accutane. Oh, you have indigestion? Here's Pepto-Bismol. Oh, you have IBS or some kind of constipation? Here's a laxative. You have a headache? Here's a headache medicine. So it's medicine, as in the practice of medicine, where they prescribe you a lot of medications and medicines. And that is not holistic at all. That is actually the opposite of that. The problem there lies, the point I'm getting to here is that medical doctors get paid based on prescribing medications. So like when a new medication comes out, that medication wants to get in the hands of people. So, I don't know how it all works. I'm not a medical doctor, but I know that it's pushed towards the medicine is pushed onto the medical community, and then the medical community then pushes the medicine onto their patients. And think about how many medications have existed that have caused side effects or been found later on to have issues with regard to, detrimental side effects and other problems that are, part of the look of the draw. Like even just taking an ibuprofen, a good old classic anti-inflammatory non-steroidal drug, ibuprofen, Tylenol, Aleve, Advil, all that stuff, acetaminophen, same thing. If you take that every single day, you can get ulcers, and if you take it too much, you can damage your liver. It's not a good idea. So watch that Adam Ruins Everything episode about medicines, or watch it. It's awesome. The point here is that acupuncture is an alternative source of medicine, or an alternative holistic healing modality, just like massage therapy is an alternative holistic modality for treating pain and chronic stress. Now, the interesting thing about acupuncture is that it can treat anything. It's not just for pain, although it can be very effective for that, but it is for everything. Like acupuncture is freaking awesome. I'm genuinely right now considering, should I go back to school to get my acupuncture credentials, because then I can treat people for more different things and I can take insurance, and I'm thinking about it. I'm going to look into it. But, it's little needles and it's a lot of herbal medicine. But think about it. Instead of the acupuncturist prescribing me a medication for my premenstrual dysphoric disorder, she's prescribing me herbs. And I'm going to the Chinese herb shop and I'm buying herbal medicine, which is made of herbs and plants to help balance out my hormones and take care of these problems so that I can have less PMS and less menstrual cramps. And that's why I'm going to the acupuncturist right now. So have you ever heard of PMDD? It freaking sucks. I figured out that my insurance, which is like a Medi-Cal provided insurance that my provider is Molina, I found out that it covers acupuncture. So I was like, oh my gosh. So when I went and talked to my primary care doctor about some problems that I was having with regard to my menstrual cycle and the intense amount of pain and discomfort that it causes me, which is 75% of women have this situation, I told her it was pretty debilitating, and that I was like, don't they do acupuncture for that? When I went to massage school, one of my teachers was an acupuncturist, and I knew that she treated women with menopause, premenopause, and premenstrual issues. So basically, you're not supposed to have to want to kill people every single month that you go through your cycle. So I'm digressing onto a topic for another video, but the point is, what about acupuncture? Does that work? Is it helpful? What about that? Should you get acupuncture for pain or for migraines? The answer is absolutely. You should totally try acupuncture. I am a full believer. I'm a huge believer in alternative medicine and trying things. If you never try acupuncture, you're not going to know if it works. If you've never tried massage therapy, you're not going to know if it works. If you've never tried chiropractic, you're not going to know if it helps you. I don't think that any one thing is a cure-all. I think that they each have their place. And when you have a lot of muscular pain and physical tension and tight muscles, you need massage therapy. When you have a lot of injuries to your body, or you've been in a car accident, or you've had spinal injuries or surgeries, and you have like bone issues and issues with your bones, ligaments, and joints, you need the chiropractor, because that's the people who crack your bones and align your joints. And when you have anything else going on with you, you need acupuncture. But here's the thing that I love about acupuncture is that the acupuncturist isn't just going to poke needles in you. The acupuncturist is a doctor of Oriental medicine. So they have this vast wealth of knowledge about all this crazy interconnectedness of your internal organs and the meridians and your brain and your body and your psychology and your emotions and your cravings for foods. And it's such a trippy thing, the way that they do it, but it's really cool. I mean, it's been thousands of years that people have been practicing traditional Chinese medicine successfully. And how long have we been practicing, take drugs based on symptoms? A couple hundred years. So just think about that for a moment. Now, if you hate needles and you're freaked out, I understand. But don't think that this is a needle like donating blood. This is not like a big fat needle that you're gonna like feel in your skin. That's a whole different ballgame. This is a tiny little itty bitty thin needle, and they're like, I had them on my forehead, we put them inside my ear, they're on my chest, they're all over my arms and legs. And you lay still and you just breathe, and you don't flex your muscles because that would hurt, but you'd feel the needles then. But by the time I was finishing up with my treatment, I was like in la la land, cloud 9, totally blissed out, ready to take a nap, and I feel very relaxed still. So much so that I didn't even really want to make this video, but I was like, make a video, Becca. So here I am. I hope that you appreciate this. So, yes, try acupuncture. Here's a couple of things that I've used acupuncture for that it worked wonders. And I will keep you guys updated if this acupuncture and herbs that I'm taking to help balance out my female system, if it works for me and I successfully have no more cramps and no more mood swings in a couple of months, I will definitely let you know, because honestly, to be free of this brutal stress, pain, and lethargy that comes with my time of the month, that would be miraculous. You know what I mean? It's really tough for me. Those first couple days, I don't even want to like come to work. I just want to cancel my clients and stay in bed with the heat pack. And I ain't got time for that. So I need to function. So here's the, before I had to deal with menstrual cycles every month, I was on birth control for a long freaking time. I'll make another video on about that, but the long-term effects of birth control, there are a lot of side effects with that too, and you need to realize that birth control is also a drug. It's a hormonal medication, and it completely changes the way that your body naturally operates and completely changes the way that you feel, and it can make you feel better and more at ease and less depressed, and it can stop you from having menstrual cycles, so you get to just feel like a guy and never cry and never, you know, lose your shit. But there's something to be said for the magical experience of this life and death cycle that we uterus having people get to go through every month. I literally, okay, this is another topic for another video. I'll make a video on the magic of menstrual cycles and post birth control life at some other time. For right now, I want to tell you about a few things I've done with acupuncture that it worked. Honestly, I've never done acupuncture and had it not work. I've just haven't done it in a, I haven't had the money to invest. I often do trade work, so I'll trade a service for a service. Like I'll trade a massage for a massage. But I've had a couple people over the years that I've traded acupuncture with, but if it didn't work out conveniently with timing and the ability to make it happen, it just fell away, you know? So it wasn't always something that like I continually stuck out and did. But throughout my life, when I've had different problems like anxiety or like chronic, I'm trying to think of what stuff I've felt, but it was like more like emotional issue, more of like I'm feeling stressed, I'm having a lot of anxiety, I'm having a lot of, you know, food cravings, things like that. I would think maybe I should go talk to an acupuncturist about this, because I knew that they could treat those systems of the body and they could help me figure out what's going on. I also have issues with sleeping, as far as like I'm a night owl and I love to stay up late and sleep in late, and I've recently been remedying that by working out more and getting to bed a little bit earlier. But it's interesting, the flow of chi says that you should be up at like 7 a.m. and that your stomach is building chi at 8 a.m. and I was like, I ain't eating breakfast at 8 a.m. I'm sleeping. But the thing is, you know, I was wondering, could they help me get my flow of chi back in balance? Is my flow of chi out of whack? Because if I don't go to bed until 1 or 2 in the morning, then I've passed that time that I'm supposed to be asleep, during which my liver would be building chi. So again, this is all stuff that's related to traditional Chinese medicine, and I grasp it a little bit because I had to learn about it in school for massage therapy, but it's not what I practice. It's not, I'm not licensed or certified in it, so it's not like in the forefront of my mind. And I'm just aware of it, just as I'm aware of the fact that there's, you know, foods that are inflammatory and foods that are not inflammatory, and that there's things that you can eat that can cause emotional reactions and chemicals in foods that can fuck with your brain. And then I'm also aware that there's holistic treatments for just about everything. So okay, number one, I was working as a massage therapist. This was my first job where I did like 20 massages a week. Okay, so I went from doing like 10, 12 massages a week at a spa to working over at like a massage clinic type of place where there was like 15 massage rooms. We were open from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. and all the therapists that worked there would work, you know, 5 1-hour sessions in a 6-hour shift. So I always worked the late shift because I'm a late person. And I was like, who wants a massage at 9 a.m.? I'm not even out of bed, but that was then. Anyway, I would come into work at 3 p.m. I'd get my first client at 3 p.m. and my last client would be at 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. And we'd be closing up the place around 9:30. So I had to work, I always worked this later shift. And, you know, that worked great for me. I had the mornings to myself. I could sleep in late and do my thing. And then I could go out after work and wander around and hang out in Hillcrest with my friends and go drink or go eat or whatever. And I would do 5 massages a day for 5 days a week. So we're talking 20, 25 massages every single week. And yes, it does hurt your hands. People that are always like, doesn't your hands hurt? I'm like, what the hell planet are you from? Do you think that it doesn't? Like, do you think that you don't like develop like strength in your hands because you're massaging all day? But keep in mind that when you learn how to massage all day, you're not learning like how to give a massage. You're learning how to give massages as a career. So they're not gonna teach you this shit because your hands will get arthritis and you will be out of a job very quickly before you can pay your student loans off. So when you learn massage in school, they teach you how to use like your leverage of your arms and like your elbow, and your fist, and like you put the pressure coming from your body. You're not putting the pressure like pushing from your fingers. Like if you went like this and like pushed with your thumb, you will get that thumb tendonitis problem. So you go through growing pains when you start doing a shit ton of body work, and your forearms and the muscles of your arms and of your hands, like see these little bad boys. I'm trying to show you how my guns. Anyway, you get stronger. Well, throughout my growing pains of developing more strength in my hands to do 5 massages in a row, I started getting like some gnarly like tennis elbow tendonitis. So tendonitis, anything with itis means inflammation. So I had inflammation of the tendon that connects in my elbow. And I could feel it. It burned. It was hot. It was painful. It was hurting me day in and day out. It was hurting me in the morning, in the evening. It was hurting me a lot worse after doing a bunch of massages. And after having a couple days off, it would hurt less. So I knew it was being caused by the massage. I knew that it was inflamed. I don't remember if I ever tried anti-inflammatory, but again, I knew that if I took ibuprofen and it felt a little bit better, that's just masking it. That's just reducing the inflammation, but it's not stopping the actual problem. So maybe I did try ibuprofen and maybe it helped a little bit, but it definitely didn't make it go away. And I was scared that I was like, oh my God, I've only been massaging for 2 years and I'm already having tennis elbow and this really fucking hurts. And I knew that it was a problem because I would massage the muscle that was hurting, and I would massage the crap out of it, and then it would just hurt more. Like massaging an inflamed area actually inflames it more, so that's not a good thing. And I was like, oh no, what do I do? And I'm talking to these other people at my work, and I'm like, yeah man, I'm having a lot of pain in my forearm. And they were like, oh man, I ice my arms every night. And I was like, ice your arms every night? I was like, I'm not really interested in doing that. But the point is, there was an acupuncturist that worked at this spa, and I was like, oh man, I'm worried about this, because I was scared. And I was like, you know what? Maybe my career's over. Maybe I'm going to hurt my body, and maybe doing massage is going to hurt me. I've heard of this happening. I've heard of the fact that there's people that do massage and they quit because they're in pain and it messes them up. And I was scared, and I thought I might be in trouble. So I'm kind of like talking to my friends about this tennis elbow pain, and I'm asking what maybe I should do. And this acupuncturist guy was like, do you want to try an acupuncture session? I'll give you some acupuncture. I just want to help you out. I don't even think he charged me. Or maybe I gave him a massage. I don't remember. But this was, like 10 years ago. The guy takes me and says, I'll just do a 30-minute treatment on you really quick. And it was such a trip. This is why acupuncture is so freaking trippy. He did this bloodletting thing where he like poked the heat, the spot that hurt really bad and felt hot. He like stabbed it with the needle, got it to drop one little drop of blood, took the needle out, didn't even touch that arm. Then he put needles in this arm in the same channels where the pain was. And I was like, okay. I lay there for half an hour. He comes back, takes the needles out. He's like, how you feeling? And I'm like, okay. It's like sore. It's not like the pain's like magically gone. But I was like, I feel okay. I feel all right. He's like, okay, I want you to go get this herbal liniment. I want you to rub it on there every day, 6 times a day. And I'm like, okay. That's another thing, guys. There is follow-up care. You can't expect some doctor or an acupuncturist or a massage therapist or anybody or chiropractor. You cannot expect them to give you a magic pill and be like, poof, you're never going to have pain again. There's aftercare. There's stretching. There's holistic methods to taking care of yourself that you need to do on your own as well to perpetuate and increase and continue the effect of the treatment. So I shit you not, this pain in my arm, this burning tendonitis that had been frequent, like consistent for weeks, next day felt a little bit better and felt like my arm was still sore, but it felt a lot better. Next day, felt better. I went and got the herbal liniment. It went away. It was completely gone within a few days. The soreness was gone. The tendonitis was gone. The inflammation was down to a point that I didn't feel the hotness anymore. And I was cured in one treatment. That shit blew me away. I was like, this acupuncture business is legit. I don't know how it works. They're looking at your tongue. They're taking your pulse. They're telling you that your liver has dampness. You don't need to understand how it works. You just need to know that it does work. And you need to do what they say and follow the aftercare. Like, I'm taking these herbal medicine pills. I bought 6 bottles. I'm going to be taking this shit maybe for the rest of my life. If it's going to take my cramps and PMS away, I will take it for the rest of my life, because I'd rather do that than have to pop a bunch of ibuprofen and hate my life for a week out of every month. Know what I'm saying? Okay, second thing where I was going to acupuncture for back pain, usual. I was like, my back hurts, I'm tight. I was trying to treat that. But I started thinking that, deep tissue massage is really what helps me the most with the back pain. So maybe instead of going to this girl for back pain, we were doing trade. I thought, how about instead of trying to make these little baby needles take away my chronic back pain, how about I focus on my anxiety or my insomnia? Let's focus on that. Let's work on that. So we started treating some other things, and I was seeing her maybe like once every month or every 6 weeks. So it wasn't, really consistent enough for me to have a really good, oh, this is how my back pain felt after, it's like I always do more than one thing. So it's hard to know which thing is doing the most good for me. But get this. I was up in Washington State, where I'm originally from. I was home for a summertime visit, and we went swimming in the river, in the waterfalls. And I'm swimming in these beautiful waterfalls in this nice, cold, fresh water, but it's hot enough outside that I can jump in the water. And I decided to jump off this like 8-foot high, jump. And I'm like, okay, it's scary, but I'm going to do it. So I jump in, and I did the like torpedo pencil jump, so that you don't like belly flop or hurt yourself. And I go down deep into the water. And as I went deep into the water, I felt my ears go, and I felt like water like get inside my ear. And I was like, oh shit, like I felt it happen. I went so deep that the pressure shoved water into my left ear. And I'm like, oh damn, that's pretty freaky. So I'm swimming back up. And as I'm swimming back up, I feel it starting to hurt, like the pressure because of the air bubble or whatever. And I was like, oh God. So I jammed some water deep down into my ear, and this sucked. So now I'm having this like gnarly pain, and I'm like, oh God, what happened? This like super cold water got shoved into my ear. And for the next 2 days, I'm trying everything. I'm standing on my head. I'm putting swimmer's ear. I'm putting alcohol down my ear. I'm putting the freaking candle with the smoke. We're trying everything home remedy under the sun, and it's not coming out. Even the swimmer's ear, I poured it in there, and it didn't get deep enough. This shit was like buried. So I'm getting ready to fly home. I can't hear anything out of that ear. My ear's clogged as hell. It's super painful. It's like sore. I'm like, oh my God. And I remember I'm thinking like, dude, how am I going to fly on this plane tomorrow? I'm going to get on this plane, and we're going to go up in altitude, and my ears are going to expand, and I'm going to have a panic attack, and I'm going to freak out because it's going to feel like my ears exploding. So I was super afraid of potentially having excruciating pain with the plane. So luckily I was already into essential oils at the time. And I was like, I'm taking a nice hot shower and like warm up my ear, and maybe the warm water will feel good. And I was thinking like, should I let more water get in there? Will it help the water come out? I'm trying everything. So I look at my essential oils, and I've got, peppermint, eucalyptus, tea tree, lavender. And I was like, lavender's good for everything. Lavender's soothing. Lavender's calming. Fuck it. Can't do anything worse. So don't try this at home, or do, but say your holistic practitioner told you, not your doctor. I pour some lavender oil in my ear. Boop, boop, boop. I was like, fuck it. I don't see how it could hurt me. So I put 2-3 drops of lavender. I feel it trickle down the ear. I'm like, okay. I go to bed. I'm, fingers crossed. And then wake up in the morning, and I'm like, hey, my ear doesn't hurt. Oh my God, wonderful. So that helped. I was able to fly on that plane without any extreme pain. It felt normal. But here's the interesting thing. That water that got in my ear never got out, and I couldn't hear properly out of that ear for the next couple of months. And it's like I would forget all about it, but then somebody would be saying something to me and they'd be on this side and I'd be like, what? And I started to recognize that I couldn't hear as well out of my left ear, and it just persistently seemed clogged. And you know how like you yawn, or you're chewing on something, or you swallow some food and all of a sudden your ear goes and you're like, oh, I can hear more. You ever had that experience where you take a flight or something and your eardrums or whatever keeps kind of going in and out with the pressure? So I kept noticing that my ear was not working the way it should, and it would open back up from time to time, but it would, I was like, whatever. But it made me think like, damn, man, ever since I got that water in my ear. So fast forward, I'm at the acupuncturist and she's like, is there anything else today? We've got some points for helping you sleep. We've got some points for helping calm down your yang liver or whatever. And is there anything else? And I go, yeah, actually, my ear. Come to think of it, I've had this in and out thing ever since I got this water jammed down into my ear like 3 months ago. She's like, wow, that was 3 months ago. I was like, yeah, it doesn't hurt anymore, but it's not right. And she's like, okay. And she pokes a needle into my ear, talks to me about how, you can treat the entire body through the ear because of all the reflexology points, does some needles in the ear, lets me chill. Guess what? Poof, my hearing was better. My ear was no longer going in and out from that one treatment. So in my experience, acupuncture is a mystical, magical, amazing thing. You can always do cupping if you hate needles. There's other things that an acupuncturist can do for you besides just put the needles in you, but their job is to restore the flow of chi and blood in your body, and that's exactly the same thing that massage is doing. We're trying to restore the flow of blood and oxygen to all your tissues and all of your areas of your body so that you're able to feel good and not have pain. And pain comes from lack of blood flow and lack of oxygen. So anyway, it's freaking awesome. I will give you guys an update on how this works for the premenstrual stuff. But yes, fuck yeah, try acupuncture. Why not? If your insurance pays for it, you don't have to pay for it. It's freaking brilliant. Take care of yourself. No one's going to do it but you. So you got to make those choices to take care of your body and love your body and take care of yourself. But I'm going to do another video about chiropractic and other types of holistic methods. But I just, I had some acupuncture today and I wanted to share this with you guys. So hope this is helpful, and give acupuncture a try. It's awesome. And hopefully soon I will not be having cramps like I am right now. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Lots of love. Thanks for coming by.